Carl, we'll start off with last Friday's awards night. A really good evening and a really good team bonding ceremony.
Listen, I thought it was a real good night, and the players, they enjoyed themselves, and you could just the fans that turned up could sense the team spirit that we've got down here, and it was with the big games coming up, a big part of the plan was to get all the boys together and let them have dinner together and enjoy each other's company. So no, all went to plan, and well done to all the boys who won the awards. They all thoroughly deserved awards, what they won, and it was a good night had by all.
Obviously, last weekend as well was the playoff game between the team who finished first and second in Toulouse and Rochdale, and Rochdale have gone on to be promoted to the championship now.
They have, and listen, nobody give them a chance. Let's be right, and I thought Keller got his tactics spot on, and I've watched the game, and fair play to them. They put them to the sword, and it's they're champions. Nobody can take that away from them. They are the champions, and they're promoted to the championship, and they're putting their feet up while all of us are now battling it out to try and gain the other promotion spot. There's a debate there which everyone's talking about whether you're the most consistent team and you win the league by 8 or 10 points, whatever it was, and then you have to go and play in the playoffs. Should they be straight promoted? Maybe. Probably that's how the days of old it was. I think this has only happened one other time, when the year we won it. We won the league, we thought we were champions, and then they kept us in the playoffs, whereas previous, if you were first past the post, you were promoted, and rightly so, I feel. But listen, I don't want to sit here as if I'm taking anything away from Rochdale, because, they thoroughly deserve that. To go to France and beat Toulouse when they've not lost all year takes some doing, and like I say, they got everything, the plan, whatever they had planned, it worked, and that's what happens in one-off games as well, and that can be achieved on one-off games. So they're champions. Good luck to them. Whether we need to look at it at the RFL meeting and in the future, I don't know. But to have a promotion final was, after the first is gone, probably a better option. But listen, we all vote for it. We all voted for it at the start, and Rochdale's took full advantage of it. And good luck to them, and I wish them all the best.
Does it give everybody here a belief, though, that the playoffs, that anything is possible? If you turn up with the right mindset, that you can beat anybody on your day and get promoted.
100%. It probably wasn't what all the 5 clubs hadn't planned, and I don't think York would have been planning to go to Toulouse this weekend, that's for certain. And listen, whether Rochdale planned it as well, they went up there, I understand, on the Thursday and had a flight booked for the Saturday. I presume that was the plan, thinking they'd have another game the following week to give them a 7-day turnaround. So whether they done that on the purpose or in case the worst happened, I don't know. But it certainly shows everyone on a one-off game, and a lot of text messages and phone calls and all this were going on when Rochdale had beat Toulouse, and I just says, I'm not bothered. It doesn't matter. We just need to worry about Barrow, and that's who we're playing next week, and we can only control what we do, and who cares? Rochdale's none of our business. They've gone there and done the business. We got to focus on Barrow, and then whoever wins out of York and Toulouse, we'll worry about them the week after. So, we've fully focused on our job, what we've got to do, and that's what I tried to put across to the boys. Who cares what Rochdale's done? Not bothered.
Obviously, looking ahead to Sunday against Barrow, there's a bit of history there with the 2012 Grand Final, which Doncaster won 16-13 at the Halliwell Jones Stadium.
Oh yeah, listen, and Barrow's like I said last week, tough place to go, and we're still smarting on the last time we played them here, and they, we were off the ball a bit that day, and they put us to the sword. But the players are really looking forward to it. I know they are. They're fully focused, and we'll go up and we'll give them everything. It's potentially the last game of the season, so you can't leave nothing off the field. Our boys will go up there and they'll rip in, and it's we'll see what happens at the end of it. But we're planned well. We're having a stop on the way up to have a pre-match, and it's semi-final. So if we lose, we're finished. Season's over, and we're not too sure that we want our season to finish just yet.
And it's great as well to see so many supporters taking advantage of the coach offer that the club have subsidised.
Listen, our fans they're good, and one thing I wanted to do was when the boys ran out on the weekend, I wanted them to know they had a little bit of support behind them. So after speaking with Tracy, and we come to a deal regarding a supporters coach, and I understand that's almost full. So it'll be good for the boys, because I tell you, Barrow can be an intimidating place, and I know that they'll come out in Barrow in numbers to support their team this weekend in the semi-final. So as a player, that's what you love. You like it when everyone's screaming for your blood, and Barrow, they're very, very vocal. But that you don't need to go in your shell when you hear that. That a lot of the players who play rugby league, they rise to that sort of stuff. So if we can keep them quiet, then we'll be doing something right, and then that will be the plan, to try and keep the Barrow supporters a little bit quiet, and hopefully we'll see what happens.
Obviously, as well, I'm guessing you want the Doncaster fans to be extremely vocal. We've heard them, this season and throughout the seasons, how vocal they can be, and did it almost remind you a bit of when you went to Batley and had that playoff game down there as a player? Listen,
they'll make some noise, especially if they're all on that bus together and having a little bit of ice water on the way up there. I'm pretty sure that they'll be very, very vocal, and if they're all in a group together, there may only be 100 or so of them, but you'll think there's 1,000 of them. That's one thing they can do, and they'll make some noise, and they've got a few leaders in there who lead the chants, and I'm sure we'll certainly know where they are up there, and that's a fact, and the players appreciate that, and we know that they'll sing from start to finish.
And just finally, season tickets are on sale until kick-off against the Barrow, and there's been quite a good uptake of those in this past week.
There has, listen, our hardcore fans that we know most of them, they stick with us, and they'll get their season ticket. We know who they'll get them, and the offer, who knows, Monday price might change again if we get the victory, but it's up until the Barrow game, and then we've got one or two other surprises and some nice stories and stuff like that for them, which will probably convince them to buy a season ticket going forward.